Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Faith and Forex. May you prosper and be in good health as your soul prospers. Let us go. All right, so we are going to be analyzing GBPJPY for this coming week. We want to look at all the time frames. I already have an idea of the overall breakdown of this because I don't want the video to be too long. Again, before you look at any analysis in the market, any YouTube videos, ensure that you have already done your own analysis. And if you haven't, please go ahead and do so. And then you can come back here just for confirmations because you are the best trader in the world. So whatever anyone else says should only be a confirmation of what you have already predicted. So trust your analysis more than anyone else's. All right, so on the weekly time, on the monthly time frame, we're not going to be breaking down structure in detail. We just want to have an idea, just a look of what's going on. And on the monthly time frame, we have been making highs, and so we know that we're still bullish. We have broken the neckline, retested it, and we're looking to create a new high above this area, this higher high area here. On the weekly time frame, we are going to identify our swing lows, our swing low, and our swing high. And then we want to look at internal structure just to see what's happening there. So this is going to be the low, or the most recent low that created this high. So that will be our swing low and our swing high. And so we know that price is actually trending between these areas. Normally, just like to use one consistent color for this part. All right, so we know that price is trending between these areas. So that's my weekly swing low and my weekly swing high. Let me just say weekly swing low and my weekly swing high. All right, so weekly swing low. Let's look at internal structure just to see what's happening here, so we can make a decision concerning our overall direction. Let's see. So we have been trending there. We broke above, creating highs. We broke that neckline just around here. We didn't really have a candlestick close below, but we did see a retracement and a clean break. So this will be the double break. And normally I look for sells on the double break instead of like that first break, which might just be a fake out, because we could see price pushing back in this direction instead of actually creating a new low. All right, so just around here, this would be the third break, and so we could take sells around here, which would be very lovely. It created a new low, and now we see price has broken this lower high area and is now pushing upwards. All right, so even if you want to take these small areas into consideration, clearly on the weekly time frame we are going to be bullish. All right, so there we go. On the weekly time frame, we are still creating highs, no shift of structure, no break, so we're cleanly bullish. So on the weekly, my bias is going to be bullish. Let's get down to the daily time frame, which of course the swing structure will not be as expansive as the weekly. We're just going to zoom in a little bit on that. So let me just delete that line. This is going to be my low, my swing low that created this high. All right, so this was my higher low, and this was my higher high, which was broken by this low. All right, so we are, in terms of swing structure, this is my swing low, my daily swing low, and this is going to be my daily swing high. Let me just edit that. So this is my swing low and my swing high. So once we have identified swing low, swing high, let us zoom in on internal structure on the daily just to see what's happening in the middle between my swing high and my swing low, so I can have an idea of where price is headed. So as you can see, we're trending downwards. We broke this area here, created a lower high, a lower low, my bad, lower high, lower low, and then we have broken above. As you can see, we have cleanly broken above this lower high area, which means that on the daily, I am clearly looking to create a new high. All right, so this was my lower high, lower low. This lower high has been broken. So in terms of internal structure, my internal low is going to be just around here. I could actually mark it off. Alright, so I'm gonna call this my internal low, and my daily internal high is gonna be above here. Alright, so we know that price is actually looking to range between my daily internal high and my daily internal low. With targets to the daily swing high, eventually we're looking to break that, or perhaps that area. Well, I have it as my take profit area, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not really choosing a TP2 for this particular trade this upcoming week. Alright, so let's get down to the 4 hour. On the daily, we are confirming to be bullish. Swing structure, internal structure are both in alignment. So let's get down to the 4 hour just to see what's happening down there. Remember, we're looking for at least 2 time frame correlation. All right, so on the 4 hour, this would be our swing high, swing low, same as a daily. On the 4 hours, you can see structure is still bullish. The 4 hour usually is like a more concise version of the daily, or a less concise version of the daily structure, even though there are times when the 4 hour opposes the daily time frame. All right, so as you can see, this was our lower high. It was broken and we were trending upwards. The sellers got in just around here, pushed market below. The sellers were still in control, pushed it a little further, and then the buyers took over at this what we call our internal low and broke structure. So structure has been taken out at this lower high area, and now we are bullish. We have gotten that push, that indication. We're looking for that correction, hopefully anywhere in between the internal high and low, so that we can take our buys. Now, again, we are paying attention to the internal. Let me just change this to 4 hours since we are going to be working with the 4 hour. I normally just write high and low. I don't know why I put the thing in it now. So 4 hour. So we have the 4 hour internal high, 4 hour internal low. And we have chosen our bias. So step 1, choose your bias. My bias for this week, GBPJPY, is giving me bullish signals, bullish momentum. Now, we need to choose where on this trade, where on this pattern are we interested in entering the market? What are we looking at? And one of the main ways that you can figure that out, I use the premium area, which comes from the Fibonacci retracement tool. I use supply and demand. Some persons call it support resistance, and you have other concepts which is more realistical. When you think about it as buyers and sellers entering the market, that's the most realistic version. So it's the same thing as support resistance, because it's the buyers and the sellers who are forming support and resistance areas. It is the buyers and the sellers who are showing interest in supply and demand areas. It is buyers and sellers who select what premium areas are. So it is the institutions who are in charge of the market, or the majority of the money, who are pushing and pulling the market in various directions. So when you look at the market, do not think about it as something that is abstract. All right, so within my internal high and low, I need to find areas of interest. And I have here 4 areas of interest. I'm going to tell you why I chose 4 areas of interest. Area of interest 1 is going to be just around here. All right, so my area of interest 1 is 203. And I'm going to change that to another color. All right. All right, let me do it in the order that I normally do it in. My first area of interest is I normally take interest in the premium area. And premium area is when the Fibonacci retracement tool gives me between 50% and 78.6. I'm going to do it in the order I did it, even though I changed how I wrote the areas of interest. So this would be premium area. And premium area is not a difficult concept. It's just an area where buyers are usually interested in the market. All right, so we have halfway between the high and the low. We have the 50%, 61.8, which is just above halfway, where buyers might say that just around this area, I am interested in price. All right, so if you don't trust the Fib tool, let's look at it another way. Another way you can look at it, this is a strong area of demand. So we have those sells before the big buy. As you can see, we have sell before buy. So we have this purple candlestick, and that's what we call area of demand. Demand means that price is good here for buyers, and since you're bullish, you want to be interested in those areas. If you don't trust supply and demand areas, let's look at another way to look at it. We can also call it support and resistance. All right, and support and resistance areas are basically areas where we see the market price tapping into those areas 3 times or more. It could be 2, but just to be more confident, 3 times or more. Over here, February 25, price tapped into the range around 203. No, my bad, around 201. Price came back here October 7th. All right, we had that minor retest. It's just a range. It never really fully tapped into the area. It was 20 pips above. All right, but I'm going to count it. We had that complete tap into the area. Then we wicked out at 201 just around here, October 17th. It happened again. All right, this is what you call support resistance. All it is telling you that buyers are interested in this price. Every time price got to 201, buyers showed interest in the Great Britain dollar. All right, so again, price tapped into that area just around here, gave you that push and that retest again at 201. All right, so whether you want to call it premium area, whether you want to call it support resistance, whether you want to call it supply and demand, just know that any area where buyers show interest once, they might show interest twice. All right, which is just as simply as we want to put it. So this is one of my areas of interest, right? We know that if buyers, if price pushbacks into this area, the buyers might show interest in this area. Now, my next area of interest is going to be higher up, because I've seen cases where I don't get that deep retracement, I don't get that deep pullback, but price barely gives a retest and then pushes upwards. So I'm going to choose just around here to be my area of interest too. And this area of interest is not dependent on premium area. It's not about supply or demand. It is just an area where buyers show interest. That is it. So I'm going to just type buyers just around here, and that would have been my second area of interest. All right, so another area of interest just around here. And I'm typing this so many times, the OBS is giving me so much issue. So I have to be doing the video over and over, but I am so determined to send out this video. So buyers are interested here. As you can see, a lot of busyness, a lot of indecision. Price tapped into this area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if it's just a little below it, you can also consider that area to be an area of support resistance. So this one is mostly dependent on support resistance area. So that's my area of interest too, which means that I am still in the range between the internal high and low. Price can barely tap here and push above. All right, that's all I'm saying. So that's another area of interest. Buyers are interested just around here. All right, so let me mark this off as an area of interest. So I have my buyers and I have my premium area, I have my area of demand down there as an area of interest. This is going to be 202. Let me just push it. I think this was 202, should be 202.5, and then this is 201. So we have 201, 202.5. So let me change this to 202.5. All right, so even though price could come anywhere in between, you want to choose the high probability areas. All right, so that's what I want to bring across. So anywhere between 202 and 202.5, just around here, we're looking at hoping for that pullback, maybe grab liquidity below this low, and then that push above. All right, next area of interest I had was my swing low, which is at 199.5. My internal swing low, and the reason for this is I have seen where price breaks through premium, break everything, comes all the way to 78.6% before giving us that push to the upside. So it is possible that price doesn't respect anything that we're talking about here, but gets back into this area. And as we can see, buyers are very, very strong again around that area. So I also chose this to be an area of interest. I'm not looking at it as a strong area of interest, but I did take it into consideration as well. All right, again, area of interest 1 is going to be around 202. Why did I choose 203? Oh, just in case we get that minor pullback here. All right, so just in case price comes as though. So I'm going to just combine both of these. Area of interest 1 between 202 and 203. All right, so between 202 down here and 203, anywhere between these areas. All right, and then we have the premium area, which is the main area I'm actually looking into, and that's just going to be around 201.5. all right, so between 201 201.5, you can mark these areas for yourself. And then we have that internal low, which is going to be 199.5, my third area of interest. So all these areas are between the internal high and low. All of these are my areas of interest. All of these I find to be fascinating areas, and I've explained exactly why. The last thing we need to look for, confirmations. Now, do not trade blindly if price does get back into any one of these areas. All right, I'm going to be using that shortly. Yes, so don't trade blindly. Price can come into this area. Wait for your confirmations. I don't know what type of confirmations you guys or you use as a trader. The first thing I use is shift of structure. I have to see that change in structure on at least the 1 hour and then on smaller time frames. All right, so firstly on maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, you look for that shift and then you can scale down on the smaller time frames. All right, so ensure that you look for shift of structure, and you also want to pay attention to, I look for candlestick formation patterns, and I also have my moving average over here. Once price goes above, I know that I'm now bullish. Right now price is slightly beneath, so I would not have taken this buy. So I want to see price confidently moving above the moving average so that I can look for those buys. All right, so shift of structure, candlestick formation. If there's a trend line, I might incorporate it, but I'm not too big on trend lines. All right, take profit 1 is going to be 205. It's my only TP, and as you can see, it's a place for sellers. So do not be shocked unless they are very powerful buyers and the market is very bullish. You might see that complete break above. Otherwise, I am expecting a retracement at 205 because the sellers show themselves strong October 8th when price got to 204. Was it what? 205.3, the sellers tapped into the market. So this is an area of supply. Sellers like these areas, and so you might want to look out for it. All right, guys, so that's it for today. If you have any questions, ideas, anything that you want to ask, please go ahead and do so. If you disagree or agree with my analysis, that's completely fine. I would love to learn from you guys. Whatever you didn't like, whatever you liked, whatever you want to tell me, share, because you have other ways of trading that I don't look into every single thing because I find this to be effective. But I would love to learn from you guys. So thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a profitable week. Bye-bye.